Alright, here's a project that's been long overdue. This is a 65 Mustang. A couple years ago it was in a wreck, and quarter panels, rear end was all beat up, front end was a little beat up, and what we decided to do is replace the whole floor pan just to make it easier, because the floor pans were kind of rough anyway. The front clip's good, front frame rails are good, and at this point we've taken and removed the floor pan and gutted it, and there's not much left of this car right now except for the rocker panels and the front floor section, and the front frame rails are good, so we're going to keep those. We cut the whole back of the car off. We're going to replace the quarter panels, tail panel, trunk pan, everything. So it's kind of an interesting look to see this thing without any floor in it and not much left of the car beyond the rockers and the roof. So the next step is we've got this floor pan, complete one-piece floor pan with the trunk pan and everything in it. The extensions off the trunk pan, everything installed. It's got good rails, of course. What we did was we removed the outer, or should I say the inner rocker panel. In this case it looks like the outer on the floor pan, but it's technically the inner rocker panel. And we removed that and opened up all the welds, and then we drilled out the holes that are going to weld into the front frame rails. And there's a series of those. It's real critical that you make sure those are in the right locations. So we'll get those in on both sides, and we're also going to mate the floor pan front section here onto the original hump that's in the car, or the firewall, let's say, and get it all in place. Now what I'm going to do is mock it up, locate the holes, grind the areas that it's going to have contact, and we're going to have to drill holes where this flange right here comes into the inner wheelhouse. I'll have to drill some holes in the wheelhouses, and I'll show you that. That's going to end up being this area here, so I'll have to drill those on both sides. And you can see this car was actually rebuilt once before. There's a quarter panel with an R.dot sticker on it, made in Taiwan, but no big deal. We're going to cut everything else off and replace those anyway, so should be interesting to get this in place. Oh, there it is. We got the floor pan in. Wasn't easy, but we did manage to get it in. What we found was on the left side here, the inner wheelhouse fits like a glove, perfect. But the other side, where it was rear-ended, doesn't. And so I'm going to have to cut that wheelhouse out and replace it. And what I found is way down here, there's a kink which pushed this up. So that's why you have this big gap right here. You can see it somewhat on this side, right here in the wheel well opening. This is the new floor pan, and this is where the kink is. So that'll have to be cut out and replaced. Otherwise, everything else went in pretty smooth. Got it, welded in, and the stress points. There you can see the other side. So it turned out pretty good. Still got a few things. Got a little bit of a gap right here. I may have to pie cut the floor and spread it just a little bit and put in a filler to make it go away. And then down here you can see the welds on the frame rail. And I still have to weld the inside ones on the inside of the frame, but out here I'm done. So it's coming along. Tomorrow we'll probably put the rear end in it just so we can make it mobile and roll it around a little easier.